Wow. I think this beats Taylor Beach. Oh yeah. All right.
This is a bit different from Tower Point.
No kidding.
Last week we walked a kilometer. This week, 10 feet.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, it's a nice hard pack too. Look how clear it is.
It's crazy clear.
I'm gonna walk a bit deeper so I don't have to crouch. I can just stand. Oh, look at that. I can just stand. It's like a luxury.
I'm actually floating. Morning, Seth.
Morning, Dave.
How you doing?
Not too bad.
It's a typical West Coast morning here. We're at Albert Head Beach this morning. Taking the show on the road again. And again, hard to call it dark matters in the beautiful twilight morning of Victoria, British Columbia.
Yeah, and actually checked the water temps yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting at around 10.1.
Yeah, that's just comfortable. That is just pure palatable water.
Yeah, it's crazy to think the difference between like the 3.5 degrees between now and February.
Yeah, it's still, I think it's still cool because it still gives you that sense of misery.
Oh, absolutely.
And discomfort, and I think no, I don't think it's been proven. I gotta quit saying I think. It's like, no, this has been proven.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the what they're always talking about, the opioid crisis in British Columbia, and I'm sympathetic to it, but then there's a part of me that says, at what point do people have to take personal responsibility?
Right.
And I started thinking about it, and I let things roll around in my brain so I can contemplate these things, and I was thinking about why do we do drugs? And drugs in particular, because I think, when it comes to alcohol, alcohol's a drug, it changes the state.
Right. Caffeine's
a drug, it changes the state. But there's something specific about things like opioids and narcotics where you have a sense of escape.
Yes.
And
escaping your current reality.
Is escaping the garbage of life, and that's but we have this thing where we want to feel good, which is understandable. Everybody wants to feel good.
Oh, absolutely.
But we talk about embracing the misery or seeking misery. I think seeking discomfort, I think, would be a better word for it. But it's just been one of those things where if you spend your life avoiding discomfort, that is the path to misery.
Yeah.
And
look at it as like it all catches up too at the end, right?
Well, it does. Right. That's the thing, and we the people who spend their lives seeking comfort, fighting for comfort, it just ends to just the worst discomfort.
Yeah.
You end up old and unhealthy and not living out the last years of your life in an optimum place.
And we talked about this before too. You think about all the opportunities that you could miss. I look at it as like everything you do, like we're creatures of habit as humans, I feel. And if you live your life avoiding discomfort, that is starting your habit.
Mm-hmm.
And how hard is it to get out of habits? It's extremely hard.
It's really hard, yes.
And so when those things come along where it's like, man, if I just step out of this comfort zone a little bit, I could have this amazing opportunity, but you can't because you're stuck in that habit of avoiding it.
And it's funny when I'm thinking about business right now. I'm in the middle of these negotiations, and everyone's telling me, do you know how much pressure this is going to put on you, Dave? You're so comfortable. Why don't you just stop? And I just keep thinking that's not where greatness lies.
No.
Greatness doesn't lie in, okay, I've made it and I'll just coast the rest of my life. Greatness lies in the risk.
Oh, man. Do you think we'd be talking about Ernest Shackleton if he was an accountant in a warm office in England?
Yeah.
No. We talk about it because he took a boat full of dudes, went to Antarctica, did this harrowing tale,
Yes.
and lived to tell about it.
And that's the case, is that the glory, and I, maybe that's the wrong thing to talk about. Maybe it's the wrong thing to say is glory, say those words, but the true greatness happens when we are in a situation that is outside of our comfort, outside of our comfort of even knowledge, of even knowing what the outcome's going to be. Like, think of every business.
Oh, anything. I look at my own life. I look at it and I'm like, my greatest accomplishments in my life have been situations that have been fucked up. And if I would have said no to discomfort, I would have never never done them.
Mm-hmm.
And those, to me, like, those are like my defining life moments that have like shaped who I was and shaped where I'm going and everything. And man, if I would have missed that, it would have been completely different.
And that's the same thing with most things in life. Think about athletes. Think about, nobody wants to stand up in front of 1,000, 20,000 people and have to prove themselves.
No.
Like, here I am, I'm going to, take a chance, take a risk, and hope that the 6 years of training I did 7 days a week is going to pay off in this one moment. And there's so many variables involved too. Like, the pitch comes and the atmospheric pressure is off a little bit and the ball spins the wrong way. And you're millimeters from being a sports hero to being a has-been.
Yeah. Crazy.
And that's a lot of risk involved there. Yeah. But you don't become the hero of the story by sitting at home, having a nice warm cup of coffee and sleeping in. Oh, there he is over there. I don't think he's quite noticed us yet. He's just a little dot.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy thing.
So that brings me back to what we do here is the cold, getting up in the morning. We're sitting there in bed, me and Gabby, and it's warm and it's comfortable and we're laughing and it's like, okay, let's go to the beach. and she's saying, okay, let's go, and I'm like, well, let's negotiate this a little bit, right? Because this is comfortable and it is great.
Oh, I still set my alarm clock for like 6:15 and it goes off and I'm like, 5 more minutes. 6:20, fuck, I gotta go.
But I think that's still part of it, is that pushing, that pressure to get up and
man. Oh, it all comes back to the accountability factor, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's
there's still like some Wednesdays where I'll leave early and I'll show up before you, and I'm just like, and we wouldn't have talked about it at all the day before leading up to it. I'm like, maybe he forgot today. And then sure as shit, I see your car turn the corner. I'm like, fuck, we're doing this. And it's been like 8 months now, and I'm still thinking that same thing.
It's funny. I'm actually the same thing. Last night, get a hold of me till like 8 o'clock. I was like, oh, maybe I get a Sunday off.
Yeah.
But it is in these moments of discomfort where the growth is created. And there's this group of guys. They're called Yes Theory. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Yeah,
I love that channel.
Yeah,
and they talk about doing all kinds of things. And their main thing in life, I guess the whole thing is say yes instead of I don't know or I maybe, let me think about it. And their mantra is seek discomfort. And genius. I think that's where the adventure lies. Frodo, if he stayed in the Shire, we would have never had an adventure. And that's life. That's the way it is. Absolutely. So coming out here in the cold and getting wet in the early morning on the weekend, it's nothing but discomfort. But this is where like the other day when we got to see that sunset, or the sunrise,
yep.
and all the sea life around us. It was like you said, we earned this, and that is what this all is. So I invite everyone who's the 3 people that have been watching this channel up to now to come into the water with us. And it's everyone says the same thing when I invite them out. It's cold. I don't like being wet. I don't like the ocean. I don't like being up that early. It's too far away. Man, there's always a bucket of excuses.
One I hear is the too far away. That's number one. It's
yeah.
Like, they're not willing to admit they wouldn't. It's it's too early. It's too far away.
Then when I try and tell them, I had to go downtown yesterday to pick up, I'm a bibliophile, right? So I'm a huge collector of antique magic books. Not just antique magic books, but all things magic. And I bought these books, and they were sitting at this guy's house at Tillicum Mall, which is closer to Victoria. And I went to the dump, got rid of some garbage, and I turned to Gabby and said, "You want to come with me to grab these books?" It took me 7 minutes to get there. So when people say, "Oh, it's too far away," it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. No.
But you know what? I understand.
Oh, totally.
I understand the not wanting to be out here.
Especially on your weekend.
Well, but everything, like, well,
I know, it's on my tippy toes.
I'm actually on my tippy toes now. It's everything. I don't like the open water. I don't like being surrounded by sea life, and it's coming to check. Let's see if we can get in there. That's coming to check us out. I don't like the cold. I don't like the wet. I don't like anything about it. But what I do like more than anything, and this is what I challenge everyone listening and watching to do, is that feeling afterwards, like that feeling when the core temperature comes up, and you're dry and you're safe and you're warm. There is this release of, and I don't want to say dopamine. I think it's dopamine, but I am feeling like I could do anything. I feel like I have to actually put a governor on my brain and slow it down because I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And the one thing is, I have in the past suffered from depression, and I would say it's probably situational in a lot of cases, but sometimes it's just not. But I find that since we started doing this, and and also working out is a huge thing with that. But since I started doing this, it happens. I have moments where I'm not happy, but for the most part, and Gabby hears me saying this all the time, I don't remember when I was happy this long. So I'm not saying it's a cure for depression, but it's definitely not going to make it worse.
Dude, I look forward to it every week, like especially those like weeks where you travel, and it's hard to get that accountability factor going. And I'll miss it. I miss it.
Yeah.
I look forward to it, and I like the 10 feet behind it. You can see the bubbles going. I can, I miss it. I look forward to it, and I like the bi-weekly. Like before, when we were doing it once a week, was almost, I needed more. Mm-hmm. And so it's been nice to, it's a routine that if I need to get in the water minimum once a week.
And circling back around to the original topic here, I think the idea of trying to stay in a warm bed there's nothing wrong with that. I understand it. It's understandable. However, the benefits from being in a warm bed, there's nothing there. You're going to wake up, and most people I know wake up with a sore back if they stay, and also maybe partly feeling a little guilty and a little negative that you kind of did that, but you'll never feel that way coming into the cold water, coming into the ocean in the morning and wrestling with the Kraken. I would argue to
anybody that you would not come and do this and get out and feel bad.
Yeah.
I guarantee you'll get out, you'll give yourself a woohoo and be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for listening. We're here at Albert Head today. I think, where are we going to be next week? Weirs Beach Sunday morning. Wednesdays, we're at the Esquamot Lagoon at 5:30. Come join us. And if you like what you're watching here and you're getting some benefit from it, subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification button so you know when we post. And come out and check out this beautiful, beautiful environment.
Get in the fucking water.